Hello everybody, welcome to our weekly Game Informer live stream. This is Replay, where we traditionally we kind of go back and we play old games. That's the idea if you're new, or I mean we've been doing it for years and almost a decade I think of Replay exists at this point now, even if it's in a different form these days. But hey, I'm Kyle Hilliard and I'm here with Charles Harte. What's up, Charles?
I'm Charles Harte.
I'm Charles Harte. That's what you always say when I say,
me.
"Who are you?"
I liked the way you said "Hey," and so I wanted to replicate that, kind of like an aggressive Navi.
That's an aggressive.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen. Yeah. So I'm kind of getting things started here. Let's see. Assassin's Creed Mirage is out this week. It came out yesterday. Which there's an archive of a stream of me playing that for an hour. I had quite a good time. I got in some stealthy assassinations, but I just in the tradition of Replay of like going back and playing old games, I wanted to go play the original Assassin's Creed and kind of get it. Like, does this hold up? Like, I have some nostalgia for this game. I was very excited for it, as most were. Played it the night it came out. I remember the controversy, quote unquote, of Kristen Bell accidentally revealing that the game takes place in the present and the past, because up until that point it had only been the past. But yeah, in an interview she mentioned something, and it like that kind of ruined it. I think Ubisoft's intention for the game was for people to bring it home and then sort of be blown away that there's actually current day stuff in it, which kind of didn't happen if you were paying close attention. I suppose if you were just like, oh yeah, what's that cool game, then maybe you didn't notice, but I remember it being a big deal.
I had no idea that was ever a part of this. I was gonna say all my knowledge of the series comes post Assassin's Creed 1, really post Assassin's Creed 2.
Really? Okay.
So what was it? Do you remember why you were excited for the game? Was it just the premise was cool, or it
was just the sort of pitch? I think, if I remember correctly, I could be mistaken. I think I read about it first in Game Informer magazine. I was not writing for Game Informer at the time. I think I was just working at GameStop as like a retail guy who would read the magazine. And I think that was the first place I read about it, and just the sort of description of it, of like they're really, and I think they succeeded at this, frankly, of trying to do something sort of unique and different from just like, hey, this is like, a historical action game where you have a sword and you beat people up. And there were these descriptions of being stealthy and like blending into the crowd and doing stuff like this, hiding yourself on a bench, and like how it was so it just seemed new and novel. And also the other thing is it was a continuation of Prince of Persia in a way, which was a game that I adore and still adore. I love Prince of Persia. So those were the reasons I was excited about it. Probably the thing I was most excited about was the Prince of Persia lineage. So yeah, that's where I was when the game came out. And before we get too much further, I kind of forgot to do this up front, but chat, hello, welcome. Please let me know about the volume and the sound and all those fun things, because I if I need to turn up Charles or turn down the game or whatever, please let me know. Let me know right away. Yeah, and then Charles, I was really happy to have you be available to be on Replay this week, because you recently played like all the Assassin's Creeds basically, which is crazy. We're talking about it on MinMax Show a little bit. And it included the original game. You didn't finish it, but you did play this one, right?
I played everything Syndicate and earlier, so like all the like classic style Assassin's Creed games before they went to like open world RPG was the ones I had time to get through.
Right. Had the time to get through. That's like so much game.
had the 200 hours to get through. No, yeah, honestly, this one really stands out more than I thought it would, because I think I'm the kind of person that like, now I make a point to have my own opinions, but when I was younger, I'm very much a thing of like, okay, what's the ranking of all these things? Like, what's actually the good one?
Oh, sure.
Like, I'm obsessed with people's rankings of like the Fast and Furious movies, even though I've never seen one of them. I just think that's a really fun thing to have a list of. So this was one I was always looking at rankings of, and the first one was always like pretty low to the bottom, just because so many other games like added stuff on it.
This is very much a proof of concept, right? And then they kind of expanded on, iterated on it from there.
But coming back to it, I think I was surprised by how much of it was like so much of the games later kind of imply certain things about the series and like the world building, and this one explicitly says it in a way that just doesn't happen again. So like I mentioned on the Min-Max show, this one introduces the idea of like puppeteering, of that X button is your armed hand, the B button is your unarmed hand, the A button is your legs, and the Y button is your head. So like it's literally you're controlling different parts of the body with different buttons, as opposed to just being like jump, attack, dodge, or whatever. And even the premise of like the real day stuff and the back in time stuff, I feel like is now that I know it was a surprise, it makes a lot of sense, because I just feel like it's handled in this cool way, I guess.
Yeah. It is, yeah. They lean so much more into the like you're a person looking into the past element of the game, which has gotten more and more sort of pushed to the just away in general. And Mirage, I don't even remember. I played the first like 2 hours of Mirage. I don't think there's any mention of Animus or Abstergo or any look to the present, unless I'm misremembering. I don't know.
I played like 6 or 7 hours, and I have yet to find any mention of. There's some like visual effects that are kind of like the Animus, but other than that, there's no indication that that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was honestly part of the reason I wanted to replay all of them, is because I was like, I know the past stories kind of stand on their own, but I wanted to keep track of like what was going on in the modern day.
Yeah.
And it was pretty coherent. Origins kind of does like a soft reset of the modern day stuff, but before that there is like kind of a through line that it was nice to play them all in order. But
yeah, I fell off after 3 in a big way, which kind of concluded the present day stuff, if I remember correctly. Or at least that instance
concluded
of
Desmond's chapter. Black Flag has like Black Flag and Rogue both have nameless, faceless Abstergo employees that you do in like first person and solve puzzles and stuff.
Right.
And then Unity and Syndicate is just cutscenes that are first person.
Gosh, yeah. Valhalla I played a good bit too. I don't really remember anything in there. I just, they're slowly getting like just further, which is like, it's fine with me. It was a cool like initial idea and I liked it, but it does get really confusing when there's 2 timelines happening at the same. You have to basically tell 2 stories in every game, you know?
I think the thing that's nice about it is it like provides this sense of scale of like it almost heightens the stakes, knowing that like hundreds of years from now there's still going to be this conflict going on in these 2 big groups. So like at any instance you're like, well, I know this is dangerous because it was dangerous in the Revolutionary War and it's still dangerous now, so this is not like an easy problem to solve. But I do feel like they just got kind of confused about how to handle it. I don't know.
It's not an easy solution. You know, it's not like I play those games and it's like, this is how they should do it. It's more like, I don't know how you guys.
Yeah.
It's an interesting premise, but I don't know what you do with it at this point.
You mentioned Kristen Bell earlier, and she's in 1, 2, and Brotherhood, and then she's gone after that.
Why?
And
what happens, Charles?
Can I spoil the games? Is that a?
I guess
I care.
Yeah, she dies right at the end of 2.
She dies.
Brotherhood specifically.
But it's at the end of Brotherhood, and it's a weird. I think so. I think the word on the street is she wanted more money because she's like a proper actress and she's getting paid video game dollars.
I mean, yeah, and as she should request, frankly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she's freaking Princess Anna, you know?
Exactly. She's a big deal. And so then they wrote her out and they killed her. But then they kind of retroactively was like, actually, she was a Templar spy the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really annoying to me because I feel like I don't think she was. I think they just wrote it that way and I think she was like an interesting character as far as the assassins go. But
Yeah.
maybe I'm just projecting.
By the way, yeah, no subtitles on this game. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I remember even being annoyed by that back in the day too. Oh, what am I supposed to do? Press and hold right. Okay. I can just quit, I guess. Can't I? Press X to attack. Press again as soon as your sword makes contact. Did I do that right?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, cool. I remember, I have a vague memory of basically always having the hidden blade equipped and just countering whenever I got into a sword fight. Like, I just hit a point where I just wasn't using the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound like a something that someone would do?
I honestly haven't played enough of the combat in this game to know exactly, but I do know in like definitely in the Ezio trilogy, if you counter and then kill someone, that just works. There's just not much of a reason to use.
Maybe that's where I'm remembering it. By the way, I didn't mean to redo this tutorial. The menu made it confusing.
You gotta get it down.
There we go.
But you don't have countering unlocked at this point. It's like in the first part, and then they take all your stuff and your skills.
Oh, okay. So they Metroid you.
Really?
That's how we all should fight. So here it says practice fight, combo kill, or exit. Can I just exit? Do I have to do this? Yeah. Okay.
No.
You must be busy. I understand.
I am busy. Thank you.
It is weird that that's even a tutorial because you already have, like, before this, there's already a part where you have to kill people.
By the way, I played through 45 minutes or an hour or so yesterday in preparation of this. I was joking with Charles. I basically had the game on while I was writing a review that we'll publish on Monday. And basically what I would just like let the cutscenes like play out because you can't really skip them. They're not really cutscenes. They're just like people talking to you in the environment, you know? And then I would sort of, move Desmond or Ezio forward 5 feet and keep going until I hit a point now, which is still not quite, you're still in tutorial mode at this point. Let's see. Someone who was it in the, MN Goldie, which by the way, Charles, if you pull up the chat, that'd be helpful for me so I could focus on the game. But MN Goldie asks if this is PC version or Xbox 360. I bought the Xbox 360 version of the game for $19.99, and I'm playing it on Xbox Series X, which the funniest thing I've noticed so far is that the loads are really fast, and I press A or B next to a horse. Okay. The loads are really fast. And I have a memory of spending so much time in that like loading screen that now it's like weird because it'll be like, oh no, you don't have to spend any time in here at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh okay.
I had a quote I wrote down because I booted up yesterday to remember where I was, and I was playing on a Steam Deck, which it does work on.
Oh yeah, how was that? That was all right?
It was good, except at one point I knocked someone over and they broke a pot and then the game crashed. But other than that,
that's so weird. That's so specific.
You also have to
Oh, I can really get going here.
you have to like trigger the keyboard at the very start of the game to skip the cutscene, or you can just tap the screen and it uses like the mouse, and then after that you can use the controller settings.
Oh, okay. Weird.
But the load times were fast, and there's no subtitles to convey like the little tutorial lines that are in the load screens. So I start the game, I'm standing in the void like
Charles?
this.
It's like I used to spend like 20 minutes in there. Anyway, continue.
I load in, I stand in the void, a voice goes, "Ladders are a socially acceptable way to reach a rooftop," and then the game just starts. I was like, yeah, man, it is.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is good. I'm glad I started here because this is some good AC stuff. These are my friends, right? Okay, yeah. Like this to me was like, I feel like when I was really into Assassin's Creed, which was the 3-2 games, the Ezio trilogy, and then 3. This is like what comes to my memory of like that game. Where it's like, oh yeah, you just spend so much time climbing towers, you know, which was fun. I still like it. When I found one in Mirage, I got all excited. I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to synchronize, you know.
I do like when game design kind of it just plays to your very human instincts of like, oh, that's a big thing. I want to be on top of that big thing.
Yeah, totally. Hello, horse. Yeah, a regular original says AC released with no subtitles whatsoever. I play with the volume way up to hear it. Yeah, I remember that even back then being a big problem for me. Like the moment subtitles became like a sort of accepted and regular thing in video games, like always for me. So yeah, it actually weirdly made Assassin's Creed difficult for me to play sometimes because I was like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. You know,
Yeah. I'm honest, I was surprised, I think, because in my mind, you go from
I do have a map. Okay.
games with no voiceover, where it's just like text-based, and then I kind of assumed that the text on screen would always carry over because I was just so used to reading it.
Yeah.
That it was weird to remember that there was like, I think like my partner was playing Spyro and there were no subtitles, and that was also just annoying.
Well, Marcus and I on Replay, gosh, I don't even remember when now at this point, played through Dino Crisis on the PlayStation, and that is a game that did not have subtitles as well. And so Marcus and I were both like, what are we supposed to do? Constantly.
Yeah.
We're friends, aren't we? Are these not? I thought these were friends.
No.
Okay. Can I be synchronized if I'm in yellow? Find out.
I think they can't chase you up there. I think the nice thing about the synchronization points is you can usually climb to the top and then it gets out of their search radius.
Oh, they lose.
They just leave you alone.
It is weird how specific those animations look.
That is a complaint people have of the newer games of like you're not making a point to climb up the building, you're just kind of holding a button and then you just kind of glide up the side.
Yeah, like it was a very light puzzle, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, can I get my horse back without getting chased here? Well, that guy gave up. Let's see. So I guess I'm just cool guy now, right? No one.
There are more horses. I think I did the exact same thing you did.
I mean, I don't. I played Red Dead Redemption 1. I remember, and like, I didn't even know you could get other horses. Like I was just like, this is my horse the whole game, and this is good. I got a horse, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was some achievement in Red Dead that was like, you know, use the same horse for 5 missions, and I got it on the 5th mission. I remember talking to a friend. It's like, oh, I can't keep track of horses. I keep losing horses. I'm like, what are you talking about? I had the same horse the whole game. I just care about horses too much.
You're too Ocarina of Time.
That's true, yeah. Oh gosh, I'm like causing a lot of problems here.
So yeah, I think it's because
Oh,
if you're in high profile, so if you're holding the right trigger, I think guards become sus, like suspicious of you.
The official term.
I said sus, and I was like, actually, you become sus.
Did you be
The
sus?
guards become suspicious. You be. I don't know.
Where am I going? Am I either Damascus or Jerusalem? Okay.
Goldie says, it is funny this game is the foundation of almost all other Ubisoft games going forward.
Yeah.
I have a question for you on that, Kyle, of at what point did people start becoming aware that it was like the format? I remember being like, I don't know, kind of after the fact, people would call it like the Assassin's Creed Tower format.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was probably Revelations. That's the 3rd Ezio game, right?
Yes.
Like, that was the one, like, I liked Assassin's Creed 1 a lot. Oh, do I need to blend in here? Okay. See this? Yes. Oh, no, they still didn't matter. Okay. You know, but I want to get this tower here. This is important to me. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so I enjoyed Assassin's Creed 1 a lot. Like it was kind of, I remember it kind of got in that like sort of 7-8 review zone, if I remember correctly. And at the time I was like, yeah, I think that's fair. There's a lot of interesting ideas that aren't really super well executed in this game. But I enjoyed it and finished it. And then 2 I really liked a lot. And I was like, okay, they're really hitting their stride here. But then it was Brotherhood was like my favorite. And I was like, this is like, this is the best one. Like I want to do everything. I'm having a great time, all that kind of stuff. And then Revelations, I almost played out of, I didn't synchronize.
You did, and I was gonna say, that. You're too excited to jump.
Revelations, I was kind of like, I'm not as excited about this as I was last time. I want to see where Ezio's going in his life. I've played every game up to this point. I'm gonna keep going, and I had a fine time. And then 3, another game that I finished, I was like, that's kind of where the luster really faded for me. Where I was like, I've done like all this stuff so many times. So it's like Revelations started it, and then 3 was like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this every year at this point.
Yeah.
And then Far Cry 3, which I really loved, was when I started. That was when I saw it creeping into all the other Ubisoft games as well. And again, Far Cry 3 I really loved, but it was like you could kind of start seeing it's like, oh, okay, they have a really specific thing they're doing here. They found that it works, and now they're doing it with all their stuff.
3 was my first one.
3 was your first one?
Yeah, I was specifically. That's a Game Informer cover I remember getting and being very invested.
That I'm trying to remember. I think I was here for that one. Can I look? I'm gonna look real quick. Go ahead, please continue with your.
I was gonna say I did have a fun thing replaying all these games where I was like, I wonder what we gave that one. Oh, Matt Miller, my boss reviewed it. Oh, that's cool. Hey, I wonder what we gave that one. Oh, Matt Miller, my boss reviewed it. Oh, that's cool.
He's
and
Mr.
we did
Assassin's Creed, yeah.
Yeah, he did all of them.
I'm trying to remember, because there was some. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm looking at the. Sorry to like pause the game here, because I wanted to see. I'm almost certain I was here for that one. Yeah, because I was here for the Revelations cover, so I was definitely here for 3's cover. Okay, yeah, because I remember former editor-in-chief who's now over at EA. This is so funny. Now in retrospect, I'm like, of course, I have this specific memory of talking about The Office. Why wouldn't I remember it? But it was before the game was revealed or announced. The setting of, colonial America was not known. And Andy McNamara was like telling everyone about it in the office. He was like, yeah, I think we're going to have Assassin's Creed on the cover next. And he was like explaining it to us of what he saw. And the thing about Andy McNamara, which I even pitched to him a couple times, is like, we should do this on video, was he was always really good at acting out like trailers that he had been shown for like pitches for the cover of the magazine. And so like he acted out the whole trailer for us of like Connor like using an axe and all this stuff. Like,
I love that.
Enthralling all of us with his antics, and we're like, yeah, this game does sound cool.
Take your time.
I imagine if you can be sold by a game that way,
yeah,
gotta work. Yeah, I was really interested in. I just knew about the American Revolution. I think that was another part of it. Is it was the first time it was really fun. Just being like, oh, hey, it's George Washington. Oh, it's Marquis Lafayette. Oh, I know these guys.
The thing that drives me a little crazy about Assassin's Creed 3, a game that is flawed and is, to be fair, the game that made me like kind of after I beat that one, I was like, I think I'm out on Assassin's Creed for a little while here. But the complaint that would always bug me is when people would be like, it's so dumb that you like hang out with Paul Revere and you meet George Washington. Like, you were on the ride with Paul Revere. And I'm like, it's fiction. That's what I want to do. Like, why? Of course. Like, I don't want it to be any other way. I don't like. I always thought that was such a funny complaint of people being like it doesn't make sense. It's like the whole nothing makes sense. Why?
Yeah, this is a magic DNA machine. Like,
right.
That was the point. People lost me. No, I did appreciate. I was gonna say that completely doesn't hold up because in 2 it's like, oh, Ezio, please meet my close friend Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, like I love that stuff. I don't care. Like, oh, my horse helping? All right, let's see. Press and hold. So I can't counter yet. I have to unlock.
No.
Okay. So
yeah.
You're right. They did take that away from me. Ouch. There we go. I do have a soft spot for this combat in a weird way. Like Odyssey, Valhalla, Origins. I just like, I don't know. I never got excited about the combat, but I liked the sort of passive countering of Assassin's Creed. You know?
Yeah, I think people complain it's too easy, but I've always liked that it felt effortless. Like I feel like for them it should be easy, but it's also a thing of like in a crowd you're easily overwhelmed because you can't counter like 7 people at once.
Yeah.
Tracks.
Pros and cons. They're different. They're basically different games at this point. Or Origins, Valhalla versus everything else.
You've done me a kindness, young man.
Zangmaster in the chat says the reason I didn't like Assassin's Creed 3 was all the weird time jumps for me, which there were a lot.
3?
3, yeah. It starts off that you play as like his dad.
I
and
remember
then it's him as a kid.
I remember I had the game early, so maybe it was needed to be patched. But I remember the opening cutscene is like his dad sitting at a table, and like none of the textures were loading, and everyone's capes were like clipping through tables, and I was like, "Is this how we're starting? This is how we're starting this?"
It was super glitchy.
Yeah.
There was a viral clip of someone getting on a horse and falling into the void like very early in the game.
Yeah.
Like, good.
Here we go. Ready, fellas?
And then, so did you ever play Unity? Some people were talking about Unity in the chat.
No, which is the one that like I think about because I'm not a big history buff. I think I talked about this recently. Maybe it was on Game Informer Show. I'm not a big history buff, but like because like Marcus, for example, here at Game Informer, he talks about going down like Wikipedia rabbit holes and like reading about history and stuff like that. I don't really do that. I'm not of that age yet. I'm sure I will be there soon. Everyone just does eventually at some point in their lives. Like I'm gonna really get into World War II soon, I think.
You're due.
I'm due, but just based on my age. But the one exception to that was like the French Revolution in college. I really enjoyed learning about that because it was violent and interesting, frankly. You know. So I always was like, man, I should play Unity. Like, that's the historical era I find the most fascinating, and I totally just skipped it. I think I played the first hour when it came out, which was, it turns out, a bad time to play that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would and then Syndicate everyone loved, and I had just fallen off so hard at that point. But those are the two that I would like to go back to someday, are Syndicate and Unity.
It's really interesting. Lots of people saying in the chat, "I love Unity. Unity was so good, man. Unity's amazing."
Yeah,
those are direct quotes.
Do I need to stay with these guys for a while? Is that what's going
on? You're in. You had to get past the gate.
But I don't have an icon. It's like yeah, if I leave the blend, it's just like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I think it is weird. You're correct to be confused.
Because it looks like they're leaving. All right, you guys go ahead. I'm out of here.
In my big replay, I was excited to get to Unity because people really like it now that it's been patched, and it did not do it for me.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I think part of it was it feels different in a way where they kind of changed the parkour system a little bit, and I think in Syndicate it's a lot cleaner to play, but I think in Unity it looks really good, and it's the kind of thing of like, if you know exactly how to do it and how to traverse the buildings appropriately, it looks like the best. Also, Paris is incredible. I think it's probably the best looking city in the franchise. But I was surprised that I didn't really like it.
Yeah, right.
It was. I also didn't really like. There's a lot of stuff in Unity that's kind of similar to Assassin's Creed 1 where they're like, what if we did this thing? And it, to me, didn't really work, but the fact that they introduced it meant like the later games could do it better. So like Unity is the first one that really has a like RPG system. Like there's gear and you can like get skill points and stuff. And it kind of annoyed me in that context, but in Syndicate, I liked it, and then people obviously are into the RPG elements in the later games.
Yeah, they kind of like fixed it, or they implemented it better eventually, right?
Yeah.
God, yeah, Assassin's Creed was like poster child for that sort of thing for a while, where it was like they tried to add this thing. It wasn't good. It's not going to be in the sequel. You know, like I think Revelations had like, gosh, what was I remember doing the tutorial and never touching it again. There's
like a tutorial. Yeah. Like, tower defense.
Tower defense stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm good, man. I don't really think I need tower defense in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's interesting mechanic of it only happens if you let your notoriety get too high. And it's really easy to not let that happen, so it's really easy to never do it. But
yeah, I guess that's what I did the tutorial, and then usually I think if my notoriety got too high, I would just die. You know, it's like I can do it. You know, like I would. That's
not what I thought you were gonna say at all. That was a really good end to that sentence. Yeah, well, one thing I liked about Revelations is your notoriety would go up if you like you repaired buildings. So it would be like the Templars in the area were just becoming aware of your presence, which I thought was cool. But you could always just pay to get rid of it, and at a certain point you just have like infinite money in those games.
Sorry if you guys can't hear what they're saying. If it makes you feel any better, I can't really either.
Kyle, to give you the gist of the situation, you were supposed to come here to assassinate a target, and the way it does it, which is cool, is it wants you to... Oh, wow.
Sorry, I wanted to look. This is so random. Well,
I thought you already had this.
Yeah, I was like, because I don't have my original save file, but I do have the achievement. So it's like, here's November 14th, 2007 was the first achievement I unlocked, and now I'm returning to the game all these years later. Anyway, sorry to derail you there. I didn't mean to.
I was gonna say you're trying to find the guy, and so a bunch of like investigation side quests popped up on the map. So you're doing one of those right now. That's what it is.
Right, yeah, that's the structure, right? Is like you learn a bunch and then you go execute the kill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did like that. Gimme. Because it did like. Why is this? Okay, that took surprisingly long.
That's really weird.
He's like, I'm like right here.
Those were the pots that I broke that crashed the game.
Oh, God, I gotta be careful. Excuse me. I'll just pray my way through this hallway. Oh, she's running away after the pot. But yeah, I did quite enjoy that system of like, you're gonna kill this person, and it's gonna take you a while to learn a lot about them. Like the act of doing it is like these missions are kind of samey and they're not that fun. But like the sort of slow build up to the sort of cathartic execution, I liked that part of it. Like I was like, okay, I almost get why this was boring up to this point. You know, it's like it made the kill that much more fun and exciting. But it's like, but I don't know if it was worth it to play a boring game for the last 4 hours to get that.
I think what Assassin's Creed 2 and 3 specifically do really well that I appreciate is like they make a point to be like, this is the guy you gotta kill, and this is why he sucks. And it's like 5 or 6 missions of like, this is really why this guy needs to die. And so then by the time you get to him, you're like, I'm glad I did this. It feels satisfying.
Right. This guy sucks.
I don't like it in this game when it's like, just when I'm hitting targets and it just feels like I'm doing it because the game told me to and not because I have any like investment in it. Because it's satisfying to do it when it's I don't know, when they feel deserving of it.
Right. Yeah. If it's just like this guy's evil, it's like, well, I'll take your word for it, I guess.
Yeah.
This does have Mirage vibes in a big way.
Yeah.
I started Mirage and I was like very much like, this is fine. Assassin's Creed has always been a slow burn game. They start slow, they just do. And Mirage is no different. So I was kind of like, I'll get back to it at some point. And then it was actually playing for the stream the other day for like an hour, where I actually did like a stealth mission, and I was like, oh, it started like sort of coming to light, and I was like, ooh, you know what? I think I do want to finish this. Can I wrist blade this guy? Oh no, okay. Oh, ow! Oh gosh, how's my health?
Creator Gaming asked, which one did you get to assassinate the Pope in? Was that 2? At the end of 2, you beat the crap out of the Pope, but I believe you don't... Actually, I don't even know if you kill him. I think Cesare kills the Pope.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you've played them
Preparation is
recently,
crucial
so
to
you
your
definitely have a better
success.
memory of it than I do.
There's a scene where,
Oh, this checkpoint was actually not bad. Do I need to resync? Oh, nope. We want to jump in the hay. I'll tell you.
I have a clip saved of me fighting the Pope at the end of Assassin's Creed 2, and when someone's on the ground in Assassin's Creed 2 and you hit them, you just stomp them in the balls. But the voice lines don't change, so he was giving this like dramatic villain monologue, and he's just on the ground. And I was stomping him.
So, okay. So I can't like just hold down block and hope for the best, really. Okay, I guess it's there. Okay, I'm having a hard time here. I was all like, I like the combat, but now I'm like struggling with it. Ooh, jeez, I like smacked him. Oh. See, I gotta get that double attack. That slap.
Yeah,
That's rude, frankly. Okay, let's see. There we go. All right. So I got one hit left. Ugh. Oops. Just killed that person. Hello, Oscar. How's it going?
And Pache.
Pass unlocked.
Guard, turn, parry, dodge, spin, ha, thrust. Okay, got it. Sangmaster. I'm gonna win this time. I don't want to keep doing this over and over.
I did double check. The Pope gets killed by his son, but you do fight him many times. So yes.
God, everyone's getting in the way here now. I got in there early and
Yeah.
caused some real damage. Okay, here we go, sir. I think you're the last one, I think. Give him the slap. Give him the slap. What are you doing? Give him the slap. Close enough.
Praise God, you've saved me.
I did.
The city will know of your sacrifice.
So I think this game, like, if you get too close to people, I feel like it's rough-ish, right? The visuals kind of fall apart a little bit. But I think the city and stuff, I think actually hold up pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't think it looks too bad. I would need to put it like right next to. I should put it side by side with Mirage. It's funny. I turned on that blue filter in Mirage, and I was like, "Yeah, this is what the original Assassin's Creed looks like," because I remember it. But now I'm playing it, I'm like, "Oh, this is not nearly as blue as Mirage makes it."
It also, I think it depends on the city you're in or the area
That
you're
makes
in.
sense. Yeah.
But playing this, I was like, oh yeah, this feels more like Mirage without the filter than Mirage with the filter.
Yeah. I'm glad they took the time to do that filter.
Yeah.
Such a weird, random thing. I should go. Oh, I remember one of the reasons I wanted to pull up the achievements is I wanted to know if they, what the list looked like, and also I was like, oh, I should look at the ones I never got and see if maybe I should go back and get them. I'm sure they're huge pains in the butt.
Which ones were they? I saw you got all the flags.
No, that can't.
I
be
think
right.
I think it said you did.
Me? No. All right, let's see. What am I missing? I got
in
one
Masyaf.
flag from one place.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Kill every Templar. Find all the flags. 85% of all memory glitches. I don't even know how to do that. I didn't have every conversation with Lucy. 25 guards in a single fight. That feels like a lot. But I just did 5 there. So if I just did that, 5 more times. 200 throwing knives. Good lord. All hospitalier? What is it? Oh, flag. Okay, that's the place. Two times. Yeah, a lot of flags. Okay. Gotta throw some harassers. I wonder if it... Gosh. How does it... Alright, it says, like, throw 25 harassers, right?
Uh-huh.
If I threw 10 harassers in 2007, does it remember that?
I was just gonna ask that.
I don't think it would. Maybe?
Or if you, like, if you collected 50 of the 100 flags in one area before, if you collect the other 50 now, will it be like, that's all of them?
Yeah, I don't know. What do we got here? We're eavesdropping.
You did look to eavesdrop and immediately knock the woman's vase over.
Don't mind me.
You
Right,
have to be on a bench in this game.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I do? I have to be on a bench to listen to people? Listen. Okay.
I'm telling you, it's rats.
No, it's children. I hear them laughing.
Rats or children. Either way, it's bad.
Corn Curly says, you guys doing a whole super replay of this.
No plans for that.
And clear them out.
We don't have subtitles.
we couldn't even keep track of it.
Also, I skipped like the first hour. You know, I played the first hour or so on my own time. Beat Down Brian says only one way to find out: get throwing. Regarding the achievements, I should try that. Yeah.
Harassers. Is that the people harassing the citizens, or is it?
Yes. Or yeah, I guess so. Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned this earlier. Marcus and I have been playing Mortal Kombat 9. We have probably one last episode to do, but Marcus is out on assignment. He's not even in the United States, you guys. So this is just a cool, chill, random episode. Am I stuck here? Oh, okay.
That was always the most impressive climbing feat, when they move horizontally and backwards to me.
Yeah. I mean, supposedly everything that you do, I don't know if this is still true, but certainly initially they were like, anything that you do in Assassin's Creed are actions that can be done by parkour artists, I guess you would call them. Parkour athletes.
Could see that.
Which, yeah, I don't, like the one that always throws me off is like, yeah, you're right, that sort of backwards jump to grab the ledge. But I mean, I guess. But I don't know if that's still true, really. I guess I don't really, considering the fact that, like, if I'm being honest with myself, it's not like I'm going to be playing this for much after this, you know, after this episode of Replay. I'm not going to continue playing Assassin's Creed 1. I probably shouldn't be wasting my time with all these towers. I should go do more interesting, fun stuff.
It's just it's Ubisoft's tried and true top 10 gameplay mechanic.
And then Goldie says that backwards jump thing is done in Ninja Warrior all the time, so... Well, I mean, but Ninja Warrior's not real, right? Everyone knows that.
I think it is, based on the people that fail it.
There's like a which they're pretty common, I think, in like most places these days. But like, there's they have these Ninja Warrior gyms, and there was a time where my daughter really liked going to them, and I would kind of like try some of the Ninja Warrior things, and it was just like, I couldn't do anything. Like, I would like hang from one rung and be like, well, that's all I can do.
Do they have like a wall you could run up?
Yeah, I actually have a video of my kid doing like one of them. Like, you know, she was young, so it was like the smallest one. Mm-hmm. And like, maybe I could have done it because I was tall.
Yeah.
You know? But they had like the crazy ones in there too. It was just this like weird. It was kind of a small place, like, but they had it like, you know, foam pits and like little monkey bars and walls you could climb and stuff. It was cool. Good place to tucker out your kid, and then you just feel really bad about yourself.
I was gonna say, one of the most humbling things as an adult is to be like, huh, a pull-up bar. I used to be able to do that, and then go to it. It's like, no, not even a little bit, actually.
The worst is like when you watch those Ninja Warrior runs, which are really amazing, are the people who like just make it look so easy.
Yeah,
like, they're just like not even out of breath by the end. They just sprinted through it, and you're just like, I guess I could do it. I mean, if they can. They probably work out like a little more than me, and it was really easy. So it'd probably just be hard for me, but I could do it. And it's like, no, you don't understand.
It's also like, I was gonna say that's like an Assassin's Creed quirk I like. In some games, it's like Ezio and his brother race across the rooftops. That's a thing they've done their whole life, so it makes sense why he can climb. Yeah. And Connor climbs through the trees, so it makes sense how he can climb. And sometimes you get to a game and it's like, I don't know who taught you how to scale buildings, but you're really good at it.
Think nothing of it. A few of your brothers were here.
Or the classic like mid game. Just as soon as combat breaks out, the person automatically is like better at combat than all the trained security guards or whatever.
Right.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget.
Yeah, it's like, well, they're a protagonist, so they're really good at fighting. It's like, all right.
A man named Tamir. Al-Muallim takes issue with the work he does.
At least in Alan Wake, Alan in the original game, he was kind of like, he's like, I've gone to a gun range like twice in my life, but that's like, I guess I just gotta fight these monsters now.
He makes his fortune selling arms and armor, and is supported by many in this endeavor: blacksmiths, traders, financiers.
Oh, look, I have control over the camera.
Death dealer in the land.
Oh, yikes!
I'm the cinematographer. All right, I'm gonna stop that.
Porn Curly says this looks good with the FPS and resolution boost. Were you playing it on the? It was a Series X, you said?
Series X, yeah. So it is, yeah. Gosh, I mean, was it 60 at the time of launch? I don't know, but.
Did this game come on 360?
Yes, it was a 360 game, yeah. Putting the
If only
PS3
you had someone that was recently very well acquainted with the timeline of the Xbox 360. Yes, definitely.
I have that moment a lot lately where I think of old games and I'm like, that was a 360 game? Like, the wildest one to me is always GTA 5. I'm like, right, that was on 360, you know?
Narrowly,
apparently. I mean, that's where I played and beat it. It was on 360. Yeah.
I didn't play that game till 2022.
Oh,
year?
somewhat recently. Okay. How'd it hold up? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was that was a funny thing at one of my interviews back before I was in the industry. I was trying to get at Fanbyte. They asked me what game I was playing, and I beat Grand Theft Auto 5, and I started playing Red Dead 2. And they said they were like, "Oh, that's cool," and then mentioned they didn't really like Red Dead 2, and it was a thing where a weird moment where I was like, "Oh, people cannot like extremely popular games." Like I didn't hang out with a lot of other people that played video games, but I was like, "Oh yeah, I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 was like one of the best games of all time because everyone says it's one of the best games of all time."
Right. Yeah.
Didn't occur to me I could have a different opinion.
Well, the thing that throws you off about that, additionally, is Red Dead Redemption 2 is a very good video game. And they were wrong.
Yeah. No, yeah.
No, I know there are people who don't like Red Dead 2, and those people can't be trusted.
I think they knew it was a hot take when they were saying that. I think it just caught me so off guard. They were like, "Well, yeah, I mean, if you like it, you know, whatever."
Yeah, no, of course, you can not like Red Dead 2, but I really like that game. I think I would put that up there as like with Last of Us as just like one of the most sort of enthralling and emotional stories. Like the end of that game really makes me cry. You know, like I love Red Dead 2.
I didn't actually finish Red Dead 2.
No, I won't spoil anything for you. Though.
I probably should. I have like I find I have a 40-hour tolerance for a lot of games.
Fair.
And once I'm playing past that, if I'm not like actively excited about it, I just stop thinking to do it.
Yeah, that's fair. Are they putting on a performance here? Like, what is happening? Like, everyone's like watching. And...
What is this mission you're doing?
I don't know, man. It was an icon on the mini map. What do you want from me, Charles?
No, to play the game.
To be paying attention to what I'm doing.
If you had subtitles, it'd be so easy.
Truly, I mean, I'm joking, but truly, if I could understand what they were saying without subtitles, or with subtitles, I'd at least be like, get over there, I'll tell you. What are you doing? Good Lord.
Yikes.
Let me at him. I assume he's a bad guy. Look at Ezio's like, let me get... Or Altair. You could do this back then.
It was allowed.
No. Leave the body.
Leave the body.
Let this be a lesson to the rest of you. Think twice before you tell me something cannot be done. Now get back to work.
I assume that's the assassination target.
Probably, yeah.
Is
he still there? There he is. Let's try to take him out now.
save the cat moment there of
Which one's the wrist blade?
up. Nice.
Dude, that was it? I did it?
Peace.
Oh! I thought it was gonna be like, nah, not yet.
And all your kind.
It seems you're
this
the
part
one
was
pays
always
now, my
weird.
friend. You'll not profit
I think,
from suffering.
gosh,
any
when did
longer.
they really started speeding this up later? Like, I feel like in 3, this stopped happening. Right?
No, this has always happened.
Really? Where you have the,
This
like... Okay.
You believe
This is a real series mainstay for reasons I don't. I mean, in this one, there's kind of like a. It's kind of plausible that you would be holding the guy you just killed and talking to him. In later games, it's like, you just jumped and you hung someone, and then it's like you talking over their body as if like they're still alive or something. It's like they clearly just died, or they're clearly not on their last breath or
I
whatever.
look forward to ending their lives as well.
See ya, Oscar. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, see ya, Oscar.
Ghosts lecturing about how they're good guys. Yeah, that's a weird thing. Oh, you're right. Just cat causing problems there.
I'm
I always wonder, was there like a return to the bureau while anonymous to complete the mission? Okay, so I can fight dudes. Okay. See, this is cool, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it's like you just killed this you did this public murder, and then you got stuck on the ceiling because you don't know what you're doing. But like, I'm joking, but like I do like the. Can I not like? What are we doing here? What is
I think it might be too short for you to.
Okay, let's see. Because I wanted.
I'm surprised they're following you though.
I know.
That's not a thing.
Here we
In
go. Okay. But I like the sort of you very publicly murdered someone because you're a crazy cool assassin with a red belt, and like I like the sort of sprint to like get out of there. You know, like that's just kind of a fun idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is this?
That's cool.
Can I like chill here? Because I'm pretty much.
I think because it's blue, that's a good sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reinitialize it. Okay, there's that guy right there.
And I don't know if it's because you're red. You've got notoriety now.
Like maybe I just need to be a little cautious. Uh-oh, someone saw me. Okay. Because I know, yeah, at some point they started implementing the last known location kind of hologram thing, which is back for Mirage.
Yeah, I think that's Unity that they put that visual in for the first time.
Really? Oh, I thought it was sooner than that. Okay.
It's always been like they always investigate your last known location, but you couldn't really see it physically.
Because that is really helpful to be like, okay,
Yeah.
that's where they think I am. I'll hide over here. But yeah, like this just... Oh, gosh, I did not want to come down here. Just the whole... Oh, there's a ladder right there. Okay. The whole, just like tone, right? I guess you could say of like the bells ringing and the music's going and you're sprinting through this sort of ancient city because you just committed murder is like, that's cool. Mm-hmm. And that I think is, golly, speaking of successful, that I think is successful.
Extremely Assassin's Creed. That move right there.
Yeah.
It seems so obviously that there's a spot that you can go to and the
get that
game just
flag.
pulls you down.
But that's where the game is most successful, where it's like you have these exciting moments. And then a lot of it is, the rest of it is kind of like just walking around and the controls aren't quite doing what you want them to do. You know, like that's like... Was it Leo Vader on Min-Max recently where he was just like, the game like never works the way you want it to. And I was like, you know what, I've never really thought of it that way, but it's like, it is true. I've never been like, this controls perfectly.
Yeah.
It controls really well like 70% of the time, and that lets you forgive the other 30, you know?
That is one of the things that was like, as much as, even if there were things I didn't like about a certain game in the series, I was always like, gosh, this does feel better than the last game. Because there is just kind of a constant level of jank.
Except for, then you went back to 1, right?
Then I went back to 1. I have a lot of, I really like getting clips of glitches in these games. I have a lot of just awful ones of like, clearly you can tell I was trying to jump to this ledge. And then I hurled my body into the abyss.
So do I have to get rid of the bells? Like, am I still...
So...
Because, like, this gate should be open for me, right?
Yes. I mean, if you hide in a forest garden nearby...
I don't see... Oh, there's one. I'll do that. Okay, let's see. Oh, I
Which-
think somebody just saw me, maybe. Yep.
Not a thing I've ever heard of or seen outside of the Assassin's Creed series, the fact that it's called a forest garden.
Yeah,
That's what it is, but it's always been like a quirk.
And I mean, the like hail is just much more. Hay is just much more buoyant, I guess, in history or something. I don't know why it's.
I do like that the first leap of faith in the series, one of the guys like really hurts his leg.
Oh, I did notice that replaying, and I forgot about that. And I guess the idea is that they're like trying to say like, you have to. You have to be a professional, right? It's kind of like the idea like you have to be practiced at this. This isn't. Not anyone can jump into hay and survive.
And
Okay.
it's become a thing everyone makes fun of, but it was really yeah, I liked that.
Okay, so I'm flashing green. And I'm somewhat close. I guess I can go. And I'm on the roofs. Oh jeez, what are you doing all tight here? I don't know why I keep wanting to say Ezio. I guess I've just spent the most time with Ezio.
Yeah,
It's a good name too.
great name. I think that's one of the reasons I didn't really like Revelations at the time, is especially knowing how many other protagonists there are in other games, getting to a point where I was like, Ezio, you've been really cool and really great, but I have spent so much time with you.
Right, yeah. Here we go. There you yep, get it. All right. Good job. I gotta take care of this important thing in the middle of being chased. I don't even know if it'll let me do it. Really?
I think you're anonymous now.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cool. Zangmaster says being on the roof is usually a suspicious activity if seen by a guard. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And even that feels like a bad move, because I don't want to be on the ground. I don't think.
Mm-hmm. They're also generally suspicious if you're running in general.
See, okay, yeah, I took too long to climb there.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was like, I like this part of the game. This is the best part. This is where they're
Yeah.
successful. And I'm like, now I can't figure out how to get out of this mode. All right, where's my den? My Creed den.
Another thing, I keep remembering things this game does first that I was
Please.
like, oh, that's nice.
We're here to talk about it.
The Creed is, I think, not a thing people really talk about in the other games. Like, it's, I mean, broadly, like, you have to honor the Brotherhood,
Right.
but the Assassin's Creed, I think people would think is nothing is true, everything is permitted. But the Creed is actually stay your blade from the flesh of innocence, hide in plain sight, and don't compromise the Brotherhood. Those are the three tenets of the Assassin's Creed.
You just pull those off the dome? You just have the Creed like ready to go?
I did. I mean, I wrote the retrospective,
Are you?
so I
Wait, hold
looked it
on.
up.
Are
To a
you?
more recent one.
Aren't you an assassin, Charles?
I was gonna pretend to speak Italian there, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. That'd be offensive. But I wish I could.
Target's been eliminated. That's cool.
Do I know the Green Lantern oath though? In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. And those who harbor evil's might, beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
For real? That's got to be right. Don't even check it. Let's just assume that's right.
This is for me. This isn't even for anyone else.
Well, there's that famous clip of Ryan Reynolds at
Yep, I got it.
Comic-Con promoting it, and someone asked him if he knew it, and then he had it ready to go.
Mm.
And then
That's an easy one, I feel like. Like, at least they're not like, what was the name of the secret identity of the fourth Robin? It was like a thing he could know and prepare for, at least.
The secret identity of the fourth Robin is Damien, right?
I believe it's technically Stephanie Brown.
Oh, you're right. Dang it. So yeah, I skipped over. I was going timeline, not introduced into the comics. That's where I got thrown off. I forgot. Desmond was voiced by Nolan North when I restarted this game. I was like, oh yeah.
What's your go-to Nolan North game? Like when you think of him, Uncharted?
Yeah, Uncharted.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually, this is a weird one, but the Prince of Persia 2008. Is that the right year?
Let's go, Mr. Miles. Time's wasting.
Miles.
Is he the protagonist in that?
He is the prince, yes, in Prince of Persia 2008. A game that I love, that I do admittedly don't think North is actually a good casting choice for that game. I wish they had gotten someone else. I think Elika, the princess, is great, but I think Nolan North, who's a great voice actor, and I really like him, I don't like him in a historical setting. I think he's just like a really good contemporary voice, and that's why I like Nathan Drake so much. So to see him be like, you know, a prince in this fantasy setting, I was like, and by prince I mean like a Prince of Persia, because the Prince of Persia is never named. I thought it was bad casting actually.
I've never seen. This game has a cool art style.
It's very
Prince of Persia.
Oh, 2008.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that game. Yeah, it looks fantastic. It looks like a freaking painting.
But I think I thought the series ended when Assassin's Creed came out.
No, yeah, they did. So they did, Prince of Persia, the 3 Prince of Persia games, Warrior Within, Sands of Time. And then, if I remember correctly, they took a little break, and then they came back with Prince of Persia 2008, and I loved it. It's one of my favorites, and but no one else did. So they kind of like cut and run, even though they sort of set it up for future entry. Like it could have been sequelized for sure.
I still don't see where I fit into things.
I did search.
The next one was based on it came out around the same time as the movie, and the protagonist kind of looked like Jake Gyllenhaal a little bit.
I don't care either way, as long as you show.
Is also not a good casting choice.
Yeah.
I did search Prince of Persia 2008, and the fourth result on Google Images is a link to an article titled "Cult Classics: Prince of Persia 2008" by Kyle Hilliard from 2013.
That's cool, actually. I'm glad. If you're looking up information about Prince of Persia 2008, I come up pretty quickly because I love that game and I talk about it more than anyone wants to listen. I wrote a piece many years ago for the site that was like, because the thing about Prince of Persia 2008 is like a lot of people are down on the ending. They just didn't like the ending. I love the ending. I think the ending's great. I think it's comparable to The Last of Us. And so I wrote this piece that was like, how come you guys like The Last of Us but not Prince of Persia 2008 when they're very similar narrative structures? Y'all are dumb is basically what I wrote. But hey, Charles, you know, this is actually a pretty good place to call it a day. We've been playing for about an hour.
Tamir spoke as if he knew you well.
I've enjoyed revisiting Assassin's Creed. I'm glad I played far enough to like get in the city and do an assassination. I'm glad we got to show that off. It might even actually functionally serve as a sequel to the first time we ever played Assassin's Creed on Replay like 6 years ago. Where I think we just like started from the beginning and we were like, well, this is just all tutorial. So go watch that one. I think I'm on that episode. And then you can watch this one, and you're in good shape. It's perfect. But yeah, thanks, Charles, for coming by and playing some Assassin's Creed.
Of course, I've been really excited. Any reason to talk about these games I played so much of this year is great for me.
Well, yeah, you got to pocket it for you know, in those instances. Usually around the holiday, we try to pre-write features to fill the website while we're gone. You just write some cool stuff about Assassin's Creed. You're good to go, man.
It's true. I'll write in defense of Assassin's Creed 3. That'll be my piece.
Yeah, please. I'd read that. Hell yeah. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate you coming by. And the plan is next week, Marcus and I will be back. Charles, you're welcome to come if you want. You're always invited to Replay. But Marcus and I will be back, and I believe we should be able to finish Mortal Kombat 9 proper. I think we're like literally on the last fight, and then we will after that we'll move. We have another super replay planned that we will potentially reveal there. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.